Now that you can hear me, thank God I recorded myself with a different device because, yeah, you missed out on like practically everything that I said because I forgot the microphone. So I'm going to play this back for you. Sorry. I really want to blame this on my entanglement with the residents, actually, you know, it's my entanglement with my mother. She has a habit that causes her to go slow and to be not as quick as normal when she's not committing to that habit. So because what she does, it slows down anyone who has that habit. You're just going to slow down. You're going to not care that much. My entanglement with having to be around my mom, that's part of the effect. So I'm trying to increase the positivity in my life while I'm having to work against some outside force that I can't really control, that I don't have control over. There's this outside force that's just something I don't have actual control over that, unless, I mean, you shouldn't do anything illegal, right? That would be called being a bully, brute forcing, you know, something like that. So anyways, let me fast forward here. But I'm also her butler, you could say. His assistants, kind of be watchful for my mom. Kind of struggling with eat more and drink food. It's like, I'll just let this play for you. And then later on, I might download this video and then pair up the audio so that the video isn't, you know, isn't a mess. Good morning, everyone. Video here. Godknown on YouTube. Sexy type Pokemon on Twitch until I find a better name for my Twitch account. But anyways, I am here now to let you all know what's been going on in my life. As you can tell, I got myself a haircut, and oh my god. Okay. Oops. Looks the way that it looks. I don't mean to look like a vampire, but that's what it looks like. Because I look tired and depressed,
a little bit of something. I don't know. All I have to do is probably just eat more and drink more water, sacrificing, bathroom times. I have to sacrifice time playing this game in order to go to the bathroom more. If I have to drink more water, so anyway, that isn't the most important part of the announcement. I've actually been very downtrodden, very depressed, just very tired, exhausted. And I've been feeling that way because my life isn't 100% easy and amazing, and it isn't even really 70% that. The upkeep is high enough that I am kind of struggling with it because my resources are low enough that the struggle is still pretty real. I had like a time where I could just sit around and do nothing except watch TV. And I mean, being here where I currently am, Lonnie Luli Apartments, the reason why I'm even here in the first place is because I have to kind of be watchful for my mom. I'm here for my mom. I'm here to be partially her protector, her guide if she needs, her driver, her cook, the chef if necessary, kind of a nurse as well if she's hurt, needs assistance. I do a lot of the fixing of things around here. If something's broken that she needs working, then I figure out how to fix it. So I'm pretty much her butler in a way. I am my mom's son, but I'm also her butler, you could say. So, anyways, Lonnie Luli Apartments isn't where I want to be. It's honestly nowhere near where I'd want to be. I just kind of am living in acceptance that this is the situation. I mean, I am living in acceptance of this entire scenario. It just is what it is. I didn't even really have plans to do any of this live streaming, to do any gaming. My computer is new. Live streaming, this is something that's pretty new for me to be doing. I would have been a live streamer a long time ago, like when I was in my 20s, early 20s. But family life dictated things. My mom got a divorce, for example, from my dad. They were separated since I was the age of 10. And they finally got divorced when I was, I think I was 18, 21, something like that. I think they got divorced around when I was 18 years old. I was still living at my old house, the house that I grew up in. And after that divorce, the house was to be sold. So they sold the house when I was 21 years old, meaning, my mom told me over years that the house was going to be sold. My mom informed all of us, me, my sister, and, probably friends and so on, that the house was going to be sold off because she didn't have enough money to pay the mortgages. My dad didn't want to have to pay, probably, something like that. I didn't know financial details. My parents didn't really let me know, anything about finances in terms of, actual exact dollar amounts, financial terms, not just the gist of money, which is where they'd say, yeah, we did. They didn't. They didn't tell me the financial, the actual logistics, the actual details. They kept the details to themselves. So I didn't really know. I didn't know that I was going to lose out on a good future. I mean, I had a great computer. I built my computer myself. This was back when I was, again, 21 years old. I started building that computer when I was 17. It took me a few months, and I was able to build myself a nice, I think it was like a $1,700 computer using like the Antec 1200 and getting the best equipment that I could at that time afford. And I was set for a good computer route. But you see, my parents didn't really say that there was going to be anything happen. They didn't give any promise. They just said, well, you need to have good work and go to school. But they didn't say that there was a home for me to go to. I live in Hawaii. Okay, that's the other thing. So Hawaii's, just everyone knows this. Hawaii's expensive. Hawaii is extremely expensive. And the people who create these prices, they don't really care because they grew up making money. They care about the expenses being paid. They don't really care about how high the expenses become. Not until their taxes are affected, not until their money's hit, right? So the upper class here, the richest people here, they're not really getting hit by any of that. They're on the other side of things, where they want things to be the way that they want things to be, and people around them are complaining about it. So Hawaii is just, there's a lot more going on in Hawaii than people probably imagine, than people probably have thought about. So literally, this is what's going on here. Is that so the gist, what I'm talking about here is just why I'm so downtrodden, why I'm feeling so depressed. Because the reality of this scenario that I'm living in, it's kind of bleak, and especially with, my mom, she's not consistent. So she might tell me one day she doesn't have enough to be able to support herself, and then a week later, suddenly she can support herself. It's a great defensive tactic for her. It's like an octopus that just shoots its ink everywhere, and then you're not sure, you're not sure where it went or what's going on. So it's a way of obfuscating kind of the real situation without having to get killed. It isn't my responsibility to pay for her finances. It would be nice of me to do that, but she is actually the adult. The truth is that it is her responsibility. She's an adult. I am an adult as well, but she's also I lived this life as a dependent for 18 years. So, I'm her kid. Now I'm her adult kid. And being her adult kid, it has not been easy, especially because my upbringing, in a way, was just cut off. Just like that. It was just kind of taken from me. So there was no stable future. I had to do all the hustle, running around. I was working against. I had to not working against. I was going against the grind, you could say, where I had to hustle instead of just sitting at a computer station doing what I already knew how to do, video editing, things like that. And I would have only gotten better as time went on. As YouTube was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I was using YouTube around when it first came out. I was using YouTube around the time when Ask Jeeves was still popular. As soon as I found out about YouTube, I mean, that's where me and my friends from high school, middle school, that's where we went to watch all the funny videos that we could watch. I mean, probably I was watching YouTube since 6th grade. So, anyways, I mean, I'm here to work. I'm here on YouTube doing these live streams to actually work now. And the reason why I am doing this is because I felt like it's a great way to be able to supplement a primary income, which I don't have, but it supplements something. The primary income that I kind of have, let's talk about this. I have EBT, I have state assistance. I needed state assistance because I was living homelessly. So the state worker from the DHS, Department of Human Services, they signed me up for getting EBT. So as soon as I got EBT, I didn't realize how easy my life would become when the state paid for me to be able to eat food, for me to be able to drink water and coffee or whatever it was that I needed. I was able to get my needs because I couldn't always have work. Hawaii is a different beast. Well, Hawaii is actually known for nepotism, other things in terms of workforce. When you actually get into profession and careers, all that stuff starts coming up. Like, how do you move up? And they'll start to talk to you about how to move up. You either don't, you either can't, you gotta wait your turn. You know, like other places, climbing the ladder, but there are some other things, some other details, because Hawaii is Hawaii. It's still kind of run in its own way. It's becoming more like a state as time goes on, and not just like a province or, you know, like its own civilization or something. It's becoming more American, I think, but there's a lot of struggle. I don't even know all the factions involved. I don't even know, like, I mean, it's already broken up to the Democrats and Republicans. Going back to the point that I was getting at here, I'm on state assistance, so that's kind of my primary income to be able to pay for food. That means all the food that I eat and actually the food that my mom eats. I've been saving her money. Now, she isn't in my actual household. Like, she's not part of my personal household on paper because I am independently me. I technically don't even have a residence. So, add up these factors. State assistance, I don't have a residence. I'm having to work. Live streaming, you know, this, I'm having to deal with this in a place that isn't even my residence. I basically have to treat this place like a workplace. I can't even treat it like my mom's place anymore that I can be here for rent. I have to be here for work now. So those things, I feel the way that I feel. I'm like, I feel like I already need, like, a vacation to replenish my brain. Like, I feel like I'm really needing that, but I think I just need some water. Whenever I feel too downtrodden, I think it's just a need for water. Most of the time, water fixes things. Water doesn't fix confusion, so know that. Moving forward, I used to just be able to sit around and watch TV, and it was kind of depressing, but I didn't realize how restful it was. Just lay down and fall asleep on the floor, and then wake up, and then watch TV. And that was pretty much that the entire day. And it also helped my mom feel at peace. She had peace of mind because she knew that I'm around. She knows that I'm around. And she still has peace of mind that I'm here, but she doesn't have the peace of mind that my attention is quickly going to be able to go from passive to actively engaged with her, because my attention is now actively engaged with live streaming, and I have to be on the computer. I start work at 8 o'clock a.m. every day. Every day I start work at 8 o'clock a.m. I was going to start only at 9 o'clock a.m., but I decided, you know what? I'm going to start early. I'm going to wake up early. I've been waking up early before I even had a computer, before I even had this job. So I wake up early. I start work at 8 o'clock a.m. And then I work until, originally I was going to work until 5 o'clock p.m. So now I find myself working until 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. So that's almost 12 hours every day. And I haven't taken a day off yet. I ended work early on Sunday because I couldn't handle the feeling that I had. Like, it's just, it was too much. It was too much, and it was detracting from my ability to perform these live streaming gaming duties, you know, where you're wanting more to be a spirited personality. I think, honestly, I am between a rock and a hard place when it comes to being a personality, because my personality is strong personality. But because I know that about myself, I've also kind of, over the years, learned how to calm my personality down, how to decrease the vibe. Especially because Lonnie Holy Apartments, it's actually an elderly apartment area. So me being a strong personality, even my mom, I'd say my mom had kind of a strong personality until she got to this place. This place doesn't like strong personalities, it likes lukewarm personality. The people around here, the residents, they're very much please be quiet, like everywhere is kind of a library. You know, small dogs, no large dogs, that kind of thing. Everything's small, compact. They're not following the rules. You know, that kind of thing. So, my personality, my big personality, and the rules, it doesn't have anything to do with my personality or anything like that. I'm just saying that's part of their personality quirk in general, the residents of this place. So, anyways, going back to my personality, I have a big personality.
Yeah, so my personality, I've got a big personality. I've just, you know, like this entire thing said, I'm going through depression. Even before my mother went out last night, my heart was already feeling like the effects of kind of going through the feeling of the effects of what was going to happen next. Like, she's part of a routine that, even if it doesn't serve her well, even if it doesn't do anything good for her, she's still part of it because it's something that she's used to. It's something that provides stability. So anyways, I gotta go for now because I have to go somewhere. I'm setting break time early. And then I'm gonna get back to live streaming later on, probably around, I want to say 45 minutes from now. I'll be back to live streaming, and either I'm going to be doing an Arc Raiders stream, or I'm going to be starting up an XCOM stream, which, by the way, I went and looked up the most recent XCOM live videos, just going to YouTube and typing XCOM live. And I was surprised to find that there was a guy named Rue's Gaming Den, with 11.1 thousand subscribers. He is doing an XCOM challenge. So I've been thinking about doing XCOM, playing XCOM. I was going to start last night, but I decided not to. And now that I see someone else is playing XCOM could have some relevancy. I think I'm going to jump into the game, and I think that I'm I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what challenge, what challenges we're going to, what challenge I'll go with, because that'll keep things interesting. So, anyways, thanks for being good listeners and for having watched this video. I'm sorry that everything is still such a mess. It's just gonna be that way for a while, being entangled with just the bull crap here. It's really tough. It's really tough. It is bull crap. You know, if bad things are happening, that's bull crap. You know, if you can't take that as a criticism, a constructive criticism to say you could do better than bull crap, then you're being part of it. You're being part of that mess. Like right now, my mom's being part of the demographic of people who all have that same habit. I don't even like to name the habit because it's kind of, I feel like I'm being kind of mean, maybe disloyal, dishonorable by telling people exactly what's going on. I probably shouldn't feel that way, because if she can feel like I mean, most people, how many people drink? Right? So, anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thank you. Take care. I'll be back.